is Nur Akmalina Binti Daud. My metric number is H1A2350. Okay, I will present part A, question 1, which is level force by age in Perak 1982 until 2019. We use the number for K is 7, which means we use 7 classes. Then 64 equal to 70, somewhat less than 70. If we let K equal to 7, will be 2 bracket 7 is 128, which is greater than 70. The recommended number of classes is 7. For the size sample is 70. 2K more bigger than N. For the class width, maximum number is 104 and minimum number is 35. Lastly, we got the number of class width, which is 9.85 round up to 10.
My name is Muhammad AMIRUL bin Muhammad KAMARUDIN. My metric number is H21A2849. Okay, I'm going to present about graphical method. As we know, graphing is a common way to visualize, illustrate the relationship in data business statistics. The objective of a graph is to show data is to diverse of complicated and represent in text and in less space. So our data is in two different types of graph, which is polygon and ogive. Firstly, polygon show a 9 different type of class, which every class is 10, and same goes to ogive. So the next part is if we want to find the midpoint to construct the polygon and ogive. Midpoint can be present from upper boundaries and divide by 2. After that, frequency refer to the quotient of percentage of the data that fall in the class. To find the relative frequency of a class, divide the frequency by the sample size. Meanwhile, the cumulative frequency of a class is the sum of the frequency for all class and previous class. And that's all from me. Thank you.
Assalamualaikum. My name is SAIFUL FARHAN bin HARON. My matrix number is H21A230. Now, I want to talk about the measure central tendency. Central tendency is a descriptive summary of a data set through a single value that reflects the center of the data distribution. A measure of central tendency is a value that represents the center of distribution. The most used to measure of tendency for ungrouped and grouped data, for example, is mean, median, and mode. Next, I want to talk about the solution how to calculate mean, median, and mode. The answer for the mean is 64.79. Therefore, the mean for current level force Perak from 1982 until 2019 was 64.79. The answer for median is 57.83. Therefore, the median for current level force Perak from 1982 until 2019 was 57.83. Last but not least is the answer for the mode. The answer for the mode is 40.8. Therefore, the mode for current level force Perak from 1982 until 2019 was 40.8.
Hello, my name is Muhammad LUTFIL HADI bin Muhammad ZAWAWI and my matrix number is H21A2238. So today, I would like to continue this presentation about measure of variation. Some parameters seek to represent the degree of variation between random variables using the measure of variation, which is measure of central tendency. Range, variance, and standard deviation are three parameters that are always employed in the measure of variation. Next is range. To determine the difference between the highest and minimum data in the collection, a range was employed. The equation measures a range. So the formula measure range is maximum data entry minus minimum data entry. So the solution 104 minus 35, and the answer is 69. Therefore, the range labor force by each group in para 1982 until 2019 is about 69. Then this is variance. So look at to the table. This is formula for variance. F is frequency of the class, X midpoint of the class, and number of interests in a sample. This is a table, the current labor force each group in para 1982 until 2019. So the overall answer for this variance is 4274.86. Next, standard deviation. To find deviation, this is formula for standard deviation. S equal 4274.86 square, and the answer is 65.38.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Muhammad Harun bin ZAINAL. My number matrix H21A2236. Now I want to explain about the measure of position. Measure of position talk about the location of one value in relation to other value in a sample or population data set. The measurement of position must be used in the lower to be highest in a data set. For the formula, quarter 1 is L plus N over 4 minus F all over FQ1 multiply C. For the step 1 is find the location of Q1. So Q1 equal N divide 4, so then 17 divide 4, and the for last answer is 17.5. For the second step, find the value of Q1. And Q1 equal 45 minus 0.5 equal 14.5. F is 17, FQ1 is 10, and C is 10. So we'll calculate, use the formula Q1, and the answer for the Q1 is 45. So now formula for the quarter 3 is quarter 3 L plus 3N over 4 minus F all over FQ3 multiply C. So LQ3 is equal 75 minus 0.5 for the answer 74.5. So for the F equal 8, and then FQ3 equal 45. For the last C equal 10. So we'll calculate to the formula quarter 3, and the answer is 73.9. So for the last is interquarter range be equal to the value at the first quarter subtract from the value third quarter. So quarter 3 is 73.9, and the quarter 1 is 45. For the answer is 38.9.
My name is HAFIEZA Binti HASHIM, and my matric number is H2183079. The shape of data distribution. The shape of distribution of labor force 8 group in Perak 1982-2019 is shown below. Mean equal 64.79, median equal 57.83, mode equal 40.8, and then mean mode, median mode, and equal. Therefore, it is skewed to the right.
Okay, I want to discuss about introduction to the data and variable involved. Data refer to observation and data that have been obtained in some way, most frequently through research. Qualitative data is data that is recorded as text, whereas quantitative data is data that is recorded as a number. Statistics can be used to examine both quantitative and qualitative data that capture characteristics in terms of a variety of categories as opposed to qualitative data that captures characteristics in terms of thought, feeling, and opinion.
Okay, from the question 1, we can do a researcher wanted to see if there was a relationship between crime index and safety index 2020 in the world. A total of 49 countries were randomly selected from the list from the recent year. The data are shown below. For the minimum number of crime index is 11.9 and maximum is 77.5. While the minimum number of safety index is 22.5 and maximum number is 88.1.
Data set. If the data set consists of n more than 100, then you may select at random n not greater than 100, but n must be at least 30. For example, n equal 35 and this data set is n equal 49.
Next, I want to talk about the Pearson product moment correlation coefficient, then explain the value obtained in calculate manually. So, this is the data in the table we are ready to calculate. From the data in the table, we using this formula, Pearson product moment correlation step by step. Next, the final answer is negative 0.0103. There is strong negative correlation between crime index and safety index.
I will continue this presentation, part B, question 4, which is develop the estimated regression equation and then interpret the regression equation. To calculate in statistics, an equation called an estimated regression equation is created to stimulate the connection between dependent and independent variables. So sum of the count, I have been able to negative 0.102 estimated regression equation for crime index and safety index. In addition, to interpret regression equation for crime index and safety index must represent estimated in y equal 100.00 and 4x is negative 0.10. So for the B1 get negative 0.10 and B2 get 100.00.
Okay, that's all from our group, which is group 8. Okay, bye.